Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of Shingeki no Kyojin, or you could call it Attack on Titan Season 2, which is on episode 10. Now, this episode right here, those who are really up to date with both the anime and the manga, you will realize that it showed more than what it was supposed to show. I'm pretty sure those of you who are manga readers will actually know what I'm talking about if you are up to date with the attack with the Attack on Titan anime. So if anything else, let's just get this started. We have to it that at the beginning of the episode, before the opening, etc., we have to it that some of the scouts are at Koni's hometown village, and they end up finding a Titan that looks a little familiar. The moment they made a comparison with Koni's mother, along with the Titan that looks like Koni's mother, they realized something was just unbelievable to them in their eyes. They just go I don't believe it, etc. Eventually, we have to it that it goes to a certain scene where Eren, along with Reiner, Bertolt, and Ymir are about to go because Bertolt and Reiner are saying that the scouts are pretty much near right now. And after much plans and discussions of what's to come later in the future, we have to it that Reiner tells Bertolt that after we've taken care of everything, grabbing a couple things and something about the coordinate they say, and with having to finish the mission, Reiner tells Bertolt to tell Annie how you feel about her. And then Bertolt's like, "What? What are you talking about?" And Ryan's like, "Stop playing dumb. I know that you have, I know you've been staring at her in the distance for a very, very long time," and so forth. And he says something about, we got short lives, and etc., and the conversation became a little bit more detailed there. We have to it that Eren is still trying to resist, etc., but Reiner managed to, arm choke him or knock him made him unconscious while getting him into a headlock or something, etc. Eventually, we have to it that they're trying to escape from the scouts right now because of what the hell is going on right now. Especially when things have gotten a little more tense right now. They tell Ymir that they're gonna do this for Krista, etc. And we get to know that we get to know about Ymir's past eventually when they say they can't save Krista because the freaking scouts are coming right at them. We get to know Ymir's past right here, which is really, really shocking and surprising. This is where I'm thinking in my mind what's going to happen here. We get to know that Ymir was actually a young child who was chosen to become some kind of, how am I supposed to say it, some kind of major figure or something, etc. I'm thinking in my mind, are you serious right now? What's going on here? And after much of her childhood being terrible, she'd been living herself in certain lies. But eventually, she tried to lie to help save the people. But instead, that did not work out. She ends up turning into a Titan, and eventually, we get to know that she ends up somehow finding Bertolt, Reiner, and Marcel whatsoever, and she ends up eating Marcel in the end. Well, that's the friend of Bertolt and Reiner and Annie. And eventually she ends up being human again after what happened. And there was a conversation about Marcel, etc., about a couple things here and there. And after Ymir's been turned back to a human, etc., she decides that she will not lie to herself anymore and ends up having to try to, how am I supposed to say it, live out her life in honesty. That's when she started stealing, beating thugs up, grabbing their money, and causing some major trouble and ruckus, and many other things. But eventually, after what's been happening, after seeing that Reiner and Bertolt realizes that they're not going to go see Ymir, and something about she says being eaten by one of Marley's warriors. In the subtitles it says, or warriors, etc. Okay, I think I spoiled a bit right there. We have to it that things kind of gotten a little bit more intense, but eventually, after talking with Ymir, and she's threatening of what's bound to happen if they don't go back for Krista, she suggests another plan. Eventually, she decides to turn to a Titan and ends up meeting up with the other scouts that she knows, such as like Koni, John, Mikasa, Sasha, Koni, and that's about it. When the scouts are getting near, they did see a Titan, like lightning or something, and that, of course, is Ymir herself. Well, because of that, etc. Because she thought of a plan, and so forth, and she ends up trying to look for one person, and when Krista came along, the moment she saw her, she ends up taking her and ends up trying to go to Reiner. Eventually, they all end up trying to escape with Reiner's like armor Titan form, but as Mikasa, Armin, and the others are like closing in on them on the horses with the help of hands or something, they end up chasing them once and for all. So overall, all I can say in simple bullet points, without having to confuse you guys with a lot of detail, is that there's a lot shown in here than what it would show in the manga. I mean, it showed a lot more than what it was supposed to show. Sorry for being confusing right there. What I'm trying to say, it's like certain scenes are not supposed to be here. That's why I'm going to tell you right now. Especially, I think maybe some other kinds of information given here and said in this episode, etc. Such as like I will say this right now. We do see Ymir's past, and we get to see a conversation between Bertolt and Reiner, very detailed, not to mention many other things. And the scouts are trying to rescue Eren. Ymir ends up kidnapping Krista in her Titan form after making a plan, and they end up making a run for it in Reiner's armored Titan form. But yeah, so like I said, and repeating myself again, like this is showing a lot. The new episode just showed a lot more information than what it's supposed to show compared to like what happened in the manga. So until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. So I'm off for Zero, people. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time. All right. I kind of spoiled you guys a little bit with one of the words in my video in this video, but forgive me. I apologize. Kind of like gave it away. Peace out. Bye bye.